Hi Simmers, and today we are doing an eco-friendly build. It's actually a penthouse in San Myshuno. At first I wanted it to be a restaurant, and then I went for like a cafe, or I just wanted it to be like something other than a residential, but apparently the off-the-grid lot trait can only be to residential homes. So the whole thing ended up just being a house, and I think it came out really cool. But there is a two-parter to this whole thing. I am gonna do a tour right after this of my first eco house. I made one and lost the footage, but I still want to show you guys, and I think it would be cool to do that. This one did include a lot of packs, so I do apologize for that, but the one I will show you after this is a house in, I wanted to say Hollywood, no, but it's a house in, I forgot what that world's called. It's can't believe I forgot the name, but it's the Hollywood world. It's the one that everybody knows, that Get Famous game. But it's an off the grid, and it includes just Get Famous and base game, and I'll show you that afterwards and I'll walk through that. But this one for now is the one inside my Shuno. I made it an off the grid because obviously it's the eco-friendly, but like many others, I do have a problem with the off the grid lot tray. It's just, it does need to be updated because the lot tray doesn't include like a lot of candles that should be off the grid, and it doesn't consider like bathtubs and stuff like that. Like, I was doing it, and the bathtub that is included in like the debug menu, the one that you build yourself as you like learn to repair stuff, that's not included, and that one honestly should be. Like, it's the one that looks like it should most be included, and it's not. And reasonably, like bathtubs, even if it's not connected to the actual sink, you can like do water, like put water in the tub and stuff like that. So I thought like a few more items should have been added, but I still had fun doing it. It's very earthy colors, obviously, because it's a eco-friendly home. But I made a guy that lives here with his dog, and I think it's a really nice pairing. I actually might include the creative sim along with this, just so you guys can get like an extra taste of what I've done. But I did that, and I also did the other house, and I did the other house first like a week ago, and I was getting ready to film it, and then it just didn't work out. But I'm obviously still working on how YouTube works and working on my channel, and I know I've been late for some of my uploads and stuff like that, but I've been working hard, and I've been trying. And one of them I had to re-upload the second Snow White episode of the Disney Legacy Challenge, and that's because I accidentally exported the thing wrong, and so like there was a whole chunk of like black screen, and then also I didn't have my headphones on, so I didn't hear how loud it was actually coming out in the actual video, so I lowered the audio on the entire thing, and I am re-uploading it now as I'm recording it, so hopefully it goes out good. But as you can see, I used a bunch of these like lamps from Get Famous, and honestly I used most of my build in the other one. I used a lot of those, and I discovered those lamps in that, and I thought it really brightened up the room, considering like base game and Get Famous don't have a lot of ceiling lights that are really that usable. So I ended up using that in the other build all over the house, but in this build I totally forgot about ceiling lights, and that there's some off the grid ones that work, and so I used that. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't think any of the fridges are off the grid. None of them say that they work off the grid, so I didn't include them in either of the builds. So if you want a fridge for this, it's just gonna suck playing it because I've never really actually played off the grid, so I'm sorry if it's like a really horrible house to play in. But I really like this penthouse. I know I've redone this before, not on my channel, but for like my own use, and I changed it into a restaurant, but I think it looks really nice as a penthouse, and I enjoyed putting all the plants in. There's these set of plants that I enjoy putting in, like a bunch of them, and they all have like silver vases, so I think it looked nice. The one thing I hate about off the grid is that you can't use the computer, so I was kind of thinking out of the box on what I should put on this desk, and I end up putting like a little like writing journal on top of it, and I liked how it came out, and I think it's a nice study nook, and I try to include a lot of plants, because at first I didn't include any plants, and then I realized I wasn't doing that, and I was like, oh my god, I need to put more plants in. And then so obviously I put a ton of plants in, and then I decided that because I'm utilizing more than just base game in another pack, that I could use um like other packs, so I included a dog in it, and I really enjoyed doing that as well. But I like the whole feel. I use that carpet a lot, the one I use under the dining room. I use that one a lot in a lot of my buildings, but I don't use this really big area rug that has like all the geometric shapes. I never really can find like a way to use it, but I feel like it worked really well in this build, and I was trying to diversify the plants I use, so I was just going through the little menu there. One thing I'm kind of disappointed about in my build was that I didn't really do anything for the outside patio. I probably could have done a lot more. I only ended up putting some, like one grill, and then some seating out there, but I didn't really add any plants or anything like that. I don't know why. Maybe the guy is just disgusted with the city, so he prefers not to do all the, like, he doesn't like looking out that much. Like, he likes green and stuff like that. I feel like he's just really self-conscious about the world and the troubles that there are, and he obviously lives here not out of choice, but because he has to, so he rather make it something really green. But here's that little notebook I was talking about. I came in an update. I think it came with the fashion career thing, so I just added that. I think maybe this person can be a writer, but obviously there's no computers, so maybe they go to the library or something like that. But I totally forgot all of his traits, so it's kind of hard. But I think this is around the point where I start to realize that there's more than just these lights I've been using, and then so I start using the ceiling lights. But I just love how this apartment turns out. At first, like, the original layout was like a studio apartment, and I kind of kept that aspect, but I closed it off just a little bit for the bedroom and a master bath. And then I didn't know what to do with that outside area. Honestly, this house would have been perfect for a family, but I don't want to cloud my save with just too many like families and stuff. I want like more like single people and people who can be more of like friends, and their story isn't as dynamic as the other ones. So I enjoyed making a layout that would fit one sim, and I think even though it's really big and um it has like a lot of room, I think I used the space wisely, and I ended up using the showers from Strangerville, and they're dirty on the inside, but I guess like if you're thinking about sustainable living, like you wouldn't care about your bathtub being clean or not. Like, you would have your friends come over, they may be a little disgusted, unless like they're they're sustainable like you, but they may be like a little disgusted, but you're like, no, we're saving the planet. So I really enjoyed that part of it. And I just ran out of stuff to do in the bathroom, but I just ended up putting just like a laundry day thing and a painting just to fill it up, because this bathroom's very large, and the original build is large as well, and maybe it's going for like the minimalist, but I thought I could fill the bathroom a little better, and I did that, and I really it's so weird because both the eco living houses that I did are completely different, because yeah, they have the earthy tones, but this one is, I don't know, it's kind of like hipster and cool and trendy, and I really enjoyed it. And maybe he's not choosing to be sustainable for all the right reasons. Maybe he thought it was a cool lifestyle and he saw it in somebody's vlog, but I really like the idea of having more sustainable living, especially in places like the Get Famous world and San Myshuno, because those are probably the places that would have the most smog and stuff like that. And I think the gameplay in the new pack coming out is going to affect these old worlds, so the more the better. And the solar panels aren't real. Those are from the debug menu. You can get those by doing testing cheats on when you do control, I think it's control alt C or control shift C, but when you pull that up, you do testing cheats on or testing cheats true, and then you do bb dot show hidden objects, and then bb dot show live edit objects, and then you can filter it through the packs, and it's a part of a debug part in the Get Famous pack, so you can find them pretty easily if you do that. There's not a lot of debug in the Get Famous pack, so I'm really gonna kick myself in the end, because I know I'm gonna remember the world's name. Like, I've played Sims for so long, and the fact that I'm just forgetting a simple name that I refer to all the time is just driving me crazy. But this bedroom I really loved, because I ended up using those tables that your sim can make, and I think it added like a little thing to it, and like they're not perfect, but I feel like the person liked that they have that character. And I ended up adding another pop of color into the build, which was that orange. And the room is small, but because it has that large door, I feel like it's really open to the actual rest of the house. And then like it still has like a secluded bathroom, so it still feels like that person has all that room. Plus it's only him living there, so the house itself is pretty big. And I don't know, maybe he has his friends over a lot, and maybe he'll be into like communal living or something like that. But I made a big dining room, and I feel like maybe he makes healthy, substantial meals for him and his friends, and he has them come over. They all ride their bikes or something. Oh, that's what I should have included. I didn't put a bike in here. That would have been great. Maybe I'll add it before I save it to the gallery. I've been so bad with saving stuff to the gallery, only because I don't know. I usually always save to the gallery, but I just haven't been recently, and I need to get in a habit of doing it again. So I will save all the things that I promised to save to the gallery by probably tomorrow. I don't know when I'm releasing this video. Right now it's Monday, so I might do it tonight or on Tuesday, depending on how long the export takes. But you can see I'm adding solar panels to the top of the roof. And then like I add like a little half wall just to split it up a little bit. And I thought it looked pretty cool. I include like I kind of kept like a similar roof to what it used to be, but I wanted to add those solar panels, so I added a little character to it. So I think it ends up being pretty cool. The actual outside doesn't look good from the view of the neighborhood, or like when you save it to the gallery, but it didn't look good to begin with, so I don't mind. I think it looks really nice from the angle it's at. And then I added some sunroofs, so just so your sim could have that natural light coming in. And I don't know what's wrong with my game and its graphics, but um, the sunlight doesn't actually show. I had my settings on ultra, but then I tried to lower my settings down to a lower setting to, it's the one below the actual ultra setting, so like probably high, I think. And it, like, I just can't see them, I guess. But it doesn't bother me all that much. I know that maybe it's like a mod that people add, but I don't mind. But you can see I'm adding a dog bed, and I never realized that scoot glitch does, or the scoot technique doesn't work for everybody. I just thought maybe some people were doing it wrong, but apparently some people that do it, it doesn't work for them, and others it does. But it works for my game, and I hope it works for your game. So if I ever like refer to the scoop method, it just means like if you have a bed against the wall, like one of your sims can scoot over and the other one can as well. But my game can do it. I don't know if your guys' game can do it, but um, this is basically a lot of the house. And for this house, you don't have to scoot. The bed is far enough from the wall, but you can see I'm adding a few windows just to make it look like it used to be like an old factory or something, and they turned it around into a sustainable house. Um, Ideally, it's probably not the best for overall looks who who would like do this big house and then like change it to be a house just for one sim. But I think like he tries as much, and maybe like he has his friends come over and stuff like that, and he tries to tell them to do the right thing and the good thing with this planet. And um maybe he tries to get some of his friends to come move in, and I don't know. But I'm starting to do the cast right now. I already started. I went through all the screenshots, but that's because I want you guys to see the whole process, and then I'll show you the other house in the family with it as well. Now this sim, he actually, I didn't change any of his features, I don't think, but I kind of like some of the generated sims that the randomizer comes up with, and this one is actually like a usual for me. Like he comes up a lot, but I wanted to just dress him up a little bit and put him in my save just to add it. I think his aims ends up being Ed, and I really like that. And he has like a little dog and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just about it. I liked his generated dog too, so I didn't really change him up that much. But this is the family, the Conley family. Alright, and here we have the first eco house that I actually made. It has a bunch of solar panels, and it's very green on the outside. It's all using Get Famous and base game because I built it in Del Sol Valley, but it's obviously has a different feel. Like there's similar objects that I used, but I feel like the whole house has a different vibe than the other house that I did. But I'm noticing now that all the lamps that I use are off, so I might replace a few just to see and show you guys how it looks. But these are the rooms. It's very green. I wanted to make it very green. The other one was more brown, but I wanted to showcase all the green that we could use in this whole build. There are obviously 3 bathrooms. There's an ensuite, for the children, and there's an ensuite for the parents' bedroom, but there's also an ensuite, or there's also just a normal hall bath. But the outside, I included like a jungle gym and some toys and stuff like that, just so the kids can play. And the parents' room is pretty simple. It's pretty nice. I didn't have too much trouble filling the room, but it is a big room. I usually don't like filling rooms like this, but I used BB.move objects again just to show you what it looks like with the lights on. I don't think I added some for the kids' room because it's just placing all these again are too complicated. So if you download this, you might have to place all the lights again. But it's very nice to raise objects. You do Control 9, or on some computers I know it's just 9, and then to put them down is 0. But my wood tones don't all match, but I like that about the house, and I think it makes it a special kind of thing. And I'm gonna include screenshots because the screenshots are better than this tour that I'm doing right now. But I really enjoyed making this one, and I enjoyed making the other one, surprisingly. I was dreading making it because I already made it an eco house, and I didn't want it just to feel the same because I haven't done a lot of eco builds, but I like how it came out. This one's a little more retro. It's a family home, obviously. There's 2 children, and the family dynamic is all different compared to the other guy, and you'll see that when I show you the family in game. I will just give you like a quick rundown of what they are, and then I'll end this video on that. A tour of my people and a tour of my build. But see, I'm showing you now that the house is way more brighter than it actually is, but there's actually no like good hanging lamps in the base game. So Get Famous had a lot of this, and I finally remembered the name without even looking. It was Del Sol Valley, and I'm so sorry. So yeah, so this one is just Get Famous and base game, and I hope that makes it easier for a bunch of you to use. And I know it's a little glitchy right now, but I really enjoyed making this, and the outside isn't as beautiful as it should be, but I like the top roofing part. And I hope you guys enjoyed this build and download it and do all those things. So I'm gonna show you the family that goes along with this, and right now. Alright, so this is Harmony. I feel like she's very earthy and really into sustainable living. Like her clothes, everything, she buys everything at the Goodwill and stuff like that. Like she's really into preserving the earth and all those good things. So she's more into like the earthy tones, and she tries not to use stuff, and that kind of goes into her children's lives. So there's Leaf and Clover, which I thought was funny. Like their last name's Branch, and she named her children after things in nature. But Leaf, favorite color is red, which uses a lot of dyes, and so she really fights her mom on choosing her style, and she's growing into her own style, and she just wants to be free of her mother's everything. So I feel like she's a little rebellious against it, but she's a good child. And then this one's Clover. He's the twin brother of Leaf, and I feel like he has his own style too. But that's basically all I have for you guys today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this whole video, and I'm sorry it's a little messy.